So we have one more speaker, someone who is a mental health specialist in our schools. This is someone I just met, but I think she would be able to give a great insight on being able to provide resources for kids and less police. Everybody give it up for Ruth.
Hi everyone, can you hear me? I'm a school social worker in Providence, and coming to this building, this state-of-the-art building, do you know what the conditions are of the buildings for the students in Providence? Do you know what message that gives to the kids of what they're worth in these buildings that should be condemned? When people say we need the police for crisis intervention and de-escalation, I've been a social worker in this state for 14 years. I've stood between a man who was suicidal trying to get the police to shoot him and was able to de-escalate and get that man onto an ambulance without anyone being injured. I've gotten in between domestic violence situations, parents beating their kids, people who are actively psychotic, intoxicated, and you want to know how many times I've ever been injured on the job? None! Social workers can do this. We have the training to do this. We have the empathy, the compassion to do this. And I'm held accountable by the Rhode Island Department of Health and the Rhode Island Department of Education to not step out of line. And I have to have a master's degree and do continuing education every year. And I'm sure I make a lot less than these guys do. These students, these children that were injured and that witnessed it, I can't imagine what it's going to be like when we go back to school. I asked one of the higher-ups yesterday, what can the social work department do? If anyone wants to speak to me after this, I will volunteer my time to help the families and help the children who have been impacted, and I will help amass resources for you. This is collective trauma. Providence is so small that there are hundreds of people who are going to say, my aunt was there, my cousin was there, my friend was there. This is massive trauma for our students. And we don't have the resources in Providence to deal with it. The National Association of Social Workers says there should be one social worker for every 500 students. Maybe 1 to 2,000 in some of these larger schools. What are we supposed to do? How can we help? How can we assist? Defund the police. Get rid of the SROs. I don't want them there. My students are terrified of the police. I hear little kids discussing their terror of the police. It's the boogeyman for them. So no, we don't need police to respond to violent crime and arrest their way out of problems. They don't know how to de-escalate. They don't have the training. And when you dehumanize people and call them animals, it's really easy to brutalize them. Thank you for coming out in the rain. And please, if there's anything I can do to help the families,